Okay, just a quick intro video on this build before I show you the flight footage. There are review videos on all these parts already on my channel, so you guys can check the links down below in the description if you want to see more details on these parts. So this is the iFlight XL5 V3 frame here, obviously with the sticker kit already installed. Did a review on that one already. I got the FLYWOO motors on here. These are the 2306 2450 kV, nice gold colored motors. The stack in here is the TTTRC F7 stack, and the video transmitter is the AKK Race VTX F25 200 milliwatt video transmitter. I'll flash some photos up here on how this is put together. It's a pretty standard build. You basically install the stack, install the motors, and solder on the motor wires to the stack, and solder the video transmitter to the flight controller as well as the camera. Now the camera here is a prototype camera from Foxeer. I can't tell you anything about it, and I will actually show a little bit of video from the camera, the FPV feed. But yeah, you guys let me know what you think of the camera. It's not out yet, obviously, and not even for sale, so there won't be a link for that anyway. But I'll show you a little bit of that anyway. Most of the video you're going to see is going to be from the session here, and that this little session 5 mount is an extra cost on top of the frame. I think that's pretty much it. XM Plus receiver, and then of course the video transmitter is using a little MMCX2 SMA adapter, and it's using the 3D printer port. This 3D printer port comes with the frame, and I'm using a Lollipop 2 antenna in the back. That's pretty much it here. And oh yeah, this 3D printer part actually holds the receiver antenna, VTX antenna, and a little spot here for the XT60. So it's a pretty nice design all around, and then using some foam feet on the bottom. So pretty nice build, and let's go and see how this flies. So just a few thoughts on the frame and some of the parts here in this build. I like the frame. It's pretty typical of your, 5-inch alien style, Martian style frame. Nothing too special there. It feels pretty much about the same. The motors, I like the motors. They're very smooth. I thought that they had pretty good throttle response. Very typical of any 2306 motor that's out there of the similar kV. I can't say it's a whole lot better or any worse than anything in the same price range. I think it's somewhere in the $15 to $25 range. There's a whole bunch of motors like that. So if you are looking for some nice pretty gold colored 2306 motors that are going to be pretty decent quality, then yeah, these are going to be okay. Beyond that, I can't tell you about longevity or crash resistance, anything like that, because I didn't crash it. So, but it was a smooth motor. It felt good in terms of flying. Nothing really special to talk about there, but it's a good motor for the price range. Now the flight stack, I think that if you're going to get that flight stack and you're going to use the 32K gyro, you're going to have to use a different mounting method than the long gold screws that were included with the flight stack. I did that initially. I was running the 32K gyro at 8K, and I was getting lots of vibrations, and it wasn't flyable. And it's because the gyro is hard mounted to the flight controller. So I was kind of expecting that, because a lot of the higher end flight controllers with 32K gyros are on like some sort of a soft mount. So if you are going to use a 32K gyro, if you do happen to get this stack, you're going to have to come up with some other way of mounting the flight controller so that it is very vibration dampened. What I did though is I just left it alone with the long screws that were included. I didn't change the way it was mounted. I just switched it over to the 8K gyro, the MPU 6000, which is also hard mounted on the flight controller, but it's a little bit less sensitive, so it's going to perform without as much sensitivity to vibrations from the motors. So you're going to have to use a CLI command, and I'll put that down in the description, where you can switch the gyro over to the 8K gyro, and then it'll fly okay like this. I mean, I'm running I think a recent build of Betaflight 4.0 here on the default PIDs. I didn't really do any special tuning. It seemed to fly okay. I wasn't really pushing it to its absolute limits because I'm not really that kind of a pilot. I don't fly like that. So, but yeah, if you're gonna be getting this stack and you're gonna be using the stack mounting method that they're including, you're gonna be limited to the 8K gyro. But if you want to use a 3K gyro, you're gonna have to get creative and come up with some other mounting method to do that. So that's all I have to say about that. The video transmitter seemed fine. You saw the DVR footage from the FPV camera. Minimal breakup. I was only at 25 milliwatts, not flying too far away, and I'm using the same antennas on the drone and also on my receiver on my goggles. So the video reception there was totally as expected. That's pretty much it for all the parts in this, and it's a pretty standard build. Nothing too interesting to talk about here in terms of like being all that different from any other build that I've done. So I'll put a list of all the parts that I've used in this build down in the description, along with all the videos, the previous videos that talk about those parts in more detail, also down in the description if you want to check it out. And I'll talk to you guys in the next video.